Now, the singer-songwriter and activist Billy Bragg, sometimes known as the Bard of Barking, has been making music for more than 4 decades, since Star Wars started.
Yes. After 13 studio albums, 20 singles and countless tours, he's now released a compilation album celebrating his remarkable career.
It is called The Roaring 40. We're going to speak to Billy in a second, but first let's just have a listen to some of his biggest hits.
One leap forwards, 2 leaps back. Will politics get me to sack? Waiting for Bragg leap forwards. Well, here comes the future and you can't run from it. If you've got a blacklist, I want to be on it. Waiting for Bragg leap forwards. Sexuality, your laws do not apply to me. Sexuality, don't threaten me with misery. Sexuality, I demand equality. Levi Stubbs' tears run down his face. Norman Whitfield and Barrett Strong are here to make right everything that's wrong. Holland and Randall goes here too are here to make it all okay with you.
And lovely to have Billy Bragg here with us in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Enjoying watching back through your videos, and you were saying that you were trying to spot various family members.
Yeah, my aunt, well, my mum's Aunt Grace actually is in the sexuality video. She's the little old lady who came in. My mum brought her into the. My mum was wrangling her for the day. It was lovely.
Wrangling her.
Yeah.
But she wasn't the only one of your relatives.
No. The boy done good. We had all my nieces and nephews down at Fulham at Craven Cottage running around playing football when they were. I mean, a long time ago. They were all little now. They're all huge now. Yeah, but
Nepo
yeah,
babies.
yeah, they
kind
of. Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
Nepo nephews.
40 years of making music.
I know. I realised just looking at that Star Wars thing, you know, I missed that completely. My Star Wars, that kind of obsession for me is Thunderbirds. That's how old I am, you know.
I think they're also very valuable if you've got any of those. Yes.
They are, yeah. I go back a long way. But yeah, to still be doing it, still be performing, you know, I'm in Manchester next month, travelling around. People still come to the gigs. I never take it for granted. I feel very, very privileged to be still paid to do what I love doing. Not many people get to do that.
And you still love doing?
I do, yeah, I really do. I don't so much enjoy the schlep. That gets hard, you know, driving around Germany in a van in winter. You can get, you know, when you tour across Europe and you end up in Stockholm, that's the last day of the tour, and then you've got like 3 days to drive back to the Hook of Holland. That can be a bit of a bind. But the actual going out there in front of a live audience, there's nothing like it.
And is it harder to leave home?
It's a bit easier than it was. There was early on, when I was home, I'd be home for like 2 weeks and I'd start going to other people's gigs and playing, you know. Then there was the bit when our boy was born, when he was young, and that was really hard. There was a couple of times, Australian tour, I had to steel myself to get on the plane. When they shut the door, I could relax. Up to that point, but since, you know, he's in a band, and weirdly, he's playing Manchester the same night as me. My boy, it's the first time we've ever been in the same... I just sussed it yesterday. On the 30th of November, he's playing a little support gig with a band called Trampoline, and I'm doing Apollo. So that's absolutely amazing. But yeah, now it's a little easier. It's OK now.
So who are the rest of the family going to see in Manchester that night?
That's true. Well, hopefully he's only support, so I might be able... I've not worked out how far it is from the Apollo to where he's playing. I might be able to nip over and see him, and then he can come see me.
We're talking about 40 years, and to mark this occasion, you've released some of your greatest hits, some of your new hits. There's one album of greatest hits, but then also a 14 CD box set. Go through the figures, 300 songs on these.
Yeah.
Some of them, I guess, you'd forgotten, had you?
I had. The real problem was this. There's only one person who's still in the firm who was there back in the day, and of course that's me. So when they were compiling it, the guy who, the amazing people who did the compiling, had a question. There's only one person they could ask. So I spent a lot of time rummaging around in my basement looking for pieces of information, scraps of, you know, trying to remember who played what, where, and when.
Do you remember these?
I do remember that. I think that's in Nicaragua. That clip. It looks like, yeah. I do. That's the trouble about videos, is they kind of haunt you. That's not me, by the way. I wish. But yeah, you do. Oh, that guitar, that's a 3/4 size Stratocaster thing. I can't remember what it's called now. But yeah, we used to have a lot of fun because I was never that enamoured of spending loads of money making expensive videos. So I would rather make something that was a bit more, you know, sort of looking wryly at the whole video thing. You know, people spending so much money.
Do you watch these now and feel really quite nostalgic for those days? I know that you were admiring the shirt you were wearing.
Yeah,
in one of our shots.
Well,
and
it's funny you
hair.
should say, but I have a song called Between the Wars, which comes from the miners' strike period. And to be perfectly honest with you, in the early 2000s, I got the impression my audience was starting, when I played it, they were getting a bit nostalgic for Margaret Thatcher. And those, you know, the days of struggle, the miners' strike and all that. And I don't want to be part of that. So I started, you know, writing newer songs that were trying to articulate the same kind of ideas, but not being that nostalgic thing. But weirdly now, I have a song from that same period called There Is Power in a Union. And when I sing that now, I see people in the audience singing it and fists in the air who couldn't have been born when I wrote that song. But, you know, they're nurses, they're teachers, you know, they've been on the picket line in the last year or so, and they've probably sung that song, and now they're looking for an artist who talks about those things, and there's not many of us left.
So you feel it comes back round, politically and musically?
Yeah, well, it does do that, yeah. The thing about that is it's not a nostalgic song. It's not looking back. It's connecting with something that's happening now, you know. So it really makes me happy when a song can do that. So you bring that back into the set. You don't just put it in there for the good, you know, the old time's sake. You put it in because it's relevant. Because, you know, I'm no longer, well, I was never hip, but I can't be pretty anymore, even though I've still got my own quiff. But I can still be relevant. You know, there's no excuse for someone my age who was active back in the day to not still be relevant, to not still engage with issues that are happening today.
And still, some of those songs, they're almost timeless now, aren't they? That's the thing about that song.
Yeah. I mean, that's, to me, it's as much the love songs, the personal songs that resonate with people as well. You know, on the new album, I have a song called I'll Be Your Shield.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, you see, now that, you know, it could be a love song, could be about the pandemic, obviously, but it has a huge emotional hit on my audience. And I'm really pleased that I have a song like that and then use some of the older songs like Tank Park Salute, also do the same kind of thing. So I just want to be, you know, where we are now, not rather looking back. Although that's why I put out this 40-year compilation. I know it sounds... But it's a kind of celebration, really, of someone who's kind of cut their own path and not gone with fashion, although it is a great shirt, as we've mentioned. I do.
It's a good shirt.
I do miss that shirt.
Must be somewhere. Be with your Star Wars figures in the attic.
No, it's not. They just go.
Billy Bragg, lovely to have you here. Thanks so much for coming in. Good luck with it. And the Roaring 40, Billy's compilation, is out now.